Few activities are as brutal and damaging to humanity as prostitution. It is inherently harmful. And few topics are as taboo at a barbecue, but around Australia at the moment, governments are talking about prostitution. They're talking about prostitution laws. In South Australia, a Greens Member of Parliament has reintroduced for consideration a 3-year-old bill to legalise prostitution. As I say, this bill is not new, it's been previously rejected. The bill is archaic and misogynist, and quite frankly, it's embarrassing. I say embarrassing because progressive countries around the world recognise that human rights, and in particular women's rights, will never be achieved until prostitution is understood to perpetuate the subordination of women. Prostitution exists because inequality exists. There are around 41 million prostituted persons in the world. 3/4 of them are between the ages of 13 and 25. 80% are female. The vast majority of women in prostitution don't want to be there. Most are desperate to escape. And no woman is immune from the effect of the practice of prostitution, as it brands all females as something that can be bought and sold. Gender equality cannot be reached while the practice of buying, selling, and renting of female flesh is legally and culturally sanctioned. And this South Australian Greens bill sends a message to all females that they are commodities available for male sexual consumption. Instead, men need to hear the message loud and clear that sexual access is not a right. Liberalised prostitution legislation also results in increased sex trafficking. After the state of Victoria legalised prostitution, the number of legal brothels doubled, and the number of illegal brothels increased by 300%. Encouragingly though, the Victorian Liberal Party has recently adopted the most progressive global policy on prostitution. It's referred to as the Nordic model, and it addresses the demand for prostitution, and importantly, it also provides women with exit strategies. It's been adopted in Sweden, in Norway, in Iceland, in Canada, in Northern Ireland, and also France. South Korea, Mexico, and also Israel are moving in that direction. The Nordic model has successfully decreased prostitution and sex trafficking. Within 4 years of the law being implemented in Sweden, the number of women involved in prostitution halved. Prostitution has extremely negative consequences for women and women's rights. If we truly believe in gender equality and human dignity, we cannot at the same time support the concept that women can be bought, sold and sexually exploited. Please join us in urging South Australian MPs to reject this Greens bill, which perpetuates the abuse of women and it supports sex trafficking, and ask them to consider carefully the Nordic legislation that dignifies humanity and encourages gender equality and respect. Thank you.